Hey ladies and gents, welcome to a new consumption test and EV range. I'm in the Leapmotor C10. This is the range extended EV. I've charged up the battery to 100%. I have at least half tank of fuel, so going from Zagreb to Zadar, 300 kilometer trip to check out performance and consumption of the C10 REEV. So after driving this today for about 10 kilometers, my power consumption was 16 kilowatts, which is not really bad. It was just following the traffic. And I did that night consumption test as well. It was like even lower. So it's really not that bad, but I'm curious about highway performance. So one of the key questions is what happens after the battery that gets depleted? What is the power consumption? Is the power enough when the car is just generating the energy with the petrol? So we're gonna find out in this video. I'm just exiting Zagreb now, and if I zoom in, you can see the power consumption at the bottom, 16.7. So just past tool payment. As soon as you recuperate, the consumption is down. So open road driving, you can get something between 15 and 16 definitely. But now we're getting to the highway. We're going to see actually how much are we going to be spending if you're driving 130. I'm going to slowly speed up to the speed limit, but you can see I have 126 kilometers of range with battery. One thing I'm not really happy in this car is the noise level. You have this big panel roof, and it's just noisy at 130. It's fitted with winter tires. I'm not sure if they've chosen EV tires. It's a big difference if you don't choose EV tires regarding noise and range, if they don't have a low rolling resistance, although many new non-EV tires have that for better fuel efficiency. I just feel like the cabin soundproof could be better, definitely. I could tell you I forgot my sunglasses, and I usually, adjust my eyes, but then the driver monitor system thinks I'm getting sleepy, so it keeps popping a message to take a break, which is really annoying. Imagine if you're an Asian and it keeps popping a message because your eyes are more closed naturally rather than being like this. Crazy. Having 130 for the most part, and from now on it'll be kilowatts with 100 speed limit. Consumption 24 and a half is pretty wild. It's not that cold. It's 8 degrees here, and we're gonna see if it's gonna be a bit better. It's 100 now, so I'm going to, of course, slow down maybe to 110. We do have a tolerance, but maybe we're going to see if that's going to drop. Range says 73 kilometers on the display. So I just passed Vukova Gorica rest stop. I have still 46 kilometers to go on display, and consumption is still holding around 24 and a half. But we do have uphill from now on. Well guys, I've made it to Bosiljevo, so this is where the highway splits from Zagreb either to Rijeka or Zadar or Split. Still 34 kilometers range. One thing I can definitely say, you should go for the style trim to get those 18-inch, because you can definitely feel all the bumps with these 20s. The suspension is just on the hard side. It's not super sporty, but it's firm, and you would definitely get better range with 18-inch rather than 20. So I have 30 kilometers of range left, and I've passed just 80 kilometers. Considering we're driving on the highway speeds, this is not bad. And guys, I just had a message. It just disappeared before I managed to turn the camera. It says here that power output is limited. So as you can see, I got this little yellow battery warning. I will continue to drive according to the speed limit to see how much I can squeeze out of the battery. So power consumption is slowly dropping, but it's a mixed terrain here. It's going up and down. Okay guys, the petrol just kicked in. I can hear it, and I can hear it's charging the battery, and you can see the blue. So you can see power consumption is 24 and fuel consumption is 5.5. We've just reached Ogulin. Considering everything we've passed 95 kilometers driving fully electric. If I was driving instead of 110, 100 all the time, maybe I could have stretched it to 100 kilometers EV drive. That's actually quite fine. Guys, I cannot emphasize how annoyed I am by this petrol noise when it's generating the power. It is driving above 3,000 RPM. Oh, it's charged 1 kilometer after 15 kilometers. That's 1 kilometer back on the EV range after 15. Wow. It feels like it's dropping the RPM now because I'm going downhill and it's requiring less power. Because when I've dropped from 110 and to 100, it just lowered the RPMs and then started kicking up again. I guess if you're driving below 100, it's not that loud because it's not driving in high RPM. I'm still in the EV Plus driving mode. I haven't even switched to power. Consumption in these 23 kilometers we've passed on the fuel is 8.4 liters estimate. That's wild. It's wildly inefficient. This was what I was afraid of, at least when it comes to highway. I mean, okay, 8 liters for an SUV, you get that in the standard petrol, but when you're driving much faster, I'm still driving at 100 here, 110. I will get to 130 again, so we're gonna see how this performs. Wow, so there was a semi on the shoulder here, on the pull down, right? And he was merging in, and I wanted to floor it to move to the left lane because there's traffic behind me, and I couldn't. It has no power. Look at this. I'm gonna floor it now here. There's no cars behind me. Okay, I'm flooring it. My foot is all the way. It is speeding up because it's going downhill, but it really lacks power. I mean, you're gonna see now. I'm gonna let it come down to 100. Okay, maybe it was the speed limit. The cruise control. I'll try to speed up here on the. I'm gonna disable this now. So let's see. When we start going uphill and I wanna maybe overtake that car, I'm just flooring it now. It's going, but it's slow for 215 horsepower system. Okay, it's going. Now it's going. It's like takes a little, but it's still not fast enough. It is so slow, and the engine's screaming into 4,000 RPM just to drive 130. Wow, super loud. So this is why I'm doing these tests, so you don't make a wrong decision. So give this video a like. Award my effort. That's the least thing you can do. Type a comment, leave a like, and share this video to someone who might consider buying the range extended EV. So I would rather buy the fully electric version. Definitely, it's a much better experience because it's a really nice car. Okay, soundproof and suspension could be better, but regarding the infotainment, the quality, build quality, everything feels really good. thank God for my ears, it decided to switch it off. It has a little bit of juice, so it's driving electric again. No, I can hear it again. I think it's turning. Yep, it turned on. We've entered the 130 zone, and yeah, it's just 4,000 RPM, 4,200. So loud. Passing rest stop Janče. Consumption in almost 70 kilometers is 9 liters. I'm not sure if you can pick this up on my external mic, but there's this whistling wind noise coming from the A pillar on the right side. If I drop it to 100, it's gone. But if I speed up, I didn't notice that before. I'm not sure if it's windy outside because there's no leaves. I don't see the branches moving. But this whistling sound is pretty bad. The whistling just suddenly stopped. I'm not sure what happened. I've used the wipers. It was still there, and then it just magically stopped. Might have been a leaf or something stuck there. I'm not really sure. That was weird. And just like that, it's back again. I guess it's the wind resistance or something. So I just passed 200 kilometers since I've started. It says here 96 kilometers of fuel, but we're gonna round it up here. 9 liters of fuel consumption if you're driving between 100 and 130. Okay, I was very tempted to stop and charge, but I decided not to. But I've, went through the rest stop and it switched off the petrol, so it was nice and quiet. For a moment I was thinking it just dropped the RPM, but it didn't. I actually want to see how much will this recuperate on the empty battery when we'll be going downhill. So please smash the like button for my effort, because I have to put up with this obnoxiously loud petrol for another 50 kilometers. So I decided to switch to fuel and see if it's going to charge up the battery at least a little bit. Although we will be going downhill, but there's still the tunnel. So let's see. I think we have a bullseye. It's now actually generating range, at least in the battery. So I just forgot it. This occurred to me, so I will definitely have to do a return trip in this video as well. I haven't used the power to see if we'll definitely deliver more power when you need it. I might try that out real quick here, but I wanted to see now after the tunnel how much we're going to recuperate going downhill. So I'm just passing Maslenica here, and we did manage to recuperate and recharge a little bit back into the battery. So the yellow battery, the low power mode warning is gone. Maybe I should have switched earlier. As a user, I read online on Leapmotor's webpage what all the driving modes regarding the fuel, power, power plus, and power. But it just, it didn't really cross my mind immediately to do it. Actually, I thought of it, but then when talking, I just forgot. But yeah, our fuel consumption is now dropped a little bit, and we just passed 250 kilometers, 8.8 liters after 140 kilometers on fuel. Okay, I kicked it to power plus. I'm gonna floor it uphill to see is it better than the previous time. Okay, doing 100 here, and I'm gonna floor it now. It's definitely better, but might be through the fact that it has some battery. So just passed tool payment, and yeah, you can see when you're driving at city speeds, the RPM is low. It's not super loud, it's not obnoxious, bleeding your ears, it's just fine. Again, I'm doing 80 here, and look at the RPMs. It's around 2000, sometimes below. So this noise level from the Petrol is acceptable for me. But everything above that, 3 or 4000 RPM is just loud, it's noise. So guys, regarding these, it's called silicone leatherette seats, or excuse me, silicone leather seats. I think they have this like silicone at the top, so it's more squishy. After 2 hours, I always get a little bit of stiffness in my bottom, but I would say these are fine. I was worried they would be bad and lack of lumbar, but they're actually fine. The seats are quite good. I'm back in the EV mode. It's so much better, so quieter. The response is better to the throttle. It's just so much better driving an EV. Seriously. So I figured I should have been driving in this mode, not this one, because this one combines EV and petrol. It's like a hybrid mode. But see, kicks in the petrol. So on the way back, I'll try to use this driving mode instead of EV Plus, which is fully EV. But we're here. We're end of our trip. Okay guys, going to Zagreb back. I'm gonna be driving in fuel, so, or even in power. At some point I have almost 100 kilometers of range. I will stop to refuel the car. And by the way, I figured out you can just swipe like this and change themes, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, so in this engine is going to be running, but I think this is same as an EV. It's combining petrol and electric, but in this one it's going to be using the petrol more. Someone left a comment that it's better to drive on highway in the power mode or power plus, because it's combining petrol and electric. My first test going from Zagreb to Zadar was seeing the EV range and fuel consumption with an empty battery, where petrol was obviously very noisy. Hopefully in this driving mode it won't be, because it will be combining both the battery as a source and petrol, which doesn't have to run in high revs because the battery isn't completely empty. So the first part until I get to the highway is going to be open road driving, so we're going to see the consumption, then I'm going to refuel and hit the highway all the way to Zagreb. Okay, so I just arrived at the fuel station. I've passed 20 kilometers, 6.5 liters fuel consumption. RPMs were 1800, so nice and quiet, not obnoxiously loud, and I've recuperated a little back into the battery. Okay, I've refueled the car, and that's the range. You can do the math if it was full battery, so continuing on. Well, interesting drive on the way back. We have some strong wind. It's pulling the steering wheel. It's very strong wind. You can maybe hear it as well. Okay guys, so what I found out that for me 125 is ideal. RPM is 2,900. It is just not too loud and it's not spending too much fuel. But if I kick it to 130, Just as an example, you can see the RPMs are now going around 3,000, but look at the throttle. It's going up and down, and I can feel the car like, you can see this, it's so jumpy, and the car is like jumpy on 130. It's like it's struggling keeping the speed, and you can see here the RPMs, 3,300. I can hear it, but it's annoying. I might be a little bit on the sensitive side here because I'm used to driving an EV. Even 126 seems alright here. So it's just enough not to be too loud. Well guys, here's a little update regarding fuel consumption after 200 kilometers. The fuel consumption is 7.5. Regarding the battery, we still have 50 kilometers to go. Okay guys, I'm back in Zagreb, about to return the car. This is the status, 40 kilometers of electric range left, 7.5 liters fuel consumption. I would say if you're driving this in fuel on the highway, you should be perfectly fine. It's not that loud and obnoxious. And EV for the city or EV Plus. Now, if you are coming from an EV, this will be definitely annoying to hear the petrol. But if you are, for my final verdict, coming from a petrol, at some point you might get used to quiet electric drive in the city and start getting annoyed by the petrol. And then maybe your next car will be fully electric, or maybe you'll be completely fine coming from a petrol or a diesel to this range extended vehicle, so the engine noise won't be annoying you as it is me, someone who's used to driving fully electric now for almost 5 years. That's it. Thanks for watching. See you next one. Bye.